The first thing we're going to do in part 3 is writing equations of lines. And so for this one, in order to do that, A, we're going to determine the slope. B, we're going to identify one point on the line. C, we're going to write an equation of the line. And D, we're going to simplify that equation. So let's start with the letter A, which is determining the slope. So if I take a look at my graph, in order to find the slope, I need 2 points on my graph. So one point that I see that's a nice point is the point 0,4. So I'm going to label that as my point number 1. And then I also can find a second good point on my graph, which looks like to be the point 2 and 3. And again, you can choose any point that you want. There's many more points that you can choose. Now I need to go and find my slope, which remember our slope is our rise over a run. So how are we getting from this point to this point? And so it looks like I'm going down 1, which would be a -1. Remember, going down is negative, so that's a change of -1. And I'm going to the right 2, which is a +2. So my slope for letter A is -1/2. Then in letter B, it says determine a point on our line. And so we have 2 points already outlined on our graph, so we can take either one. I'm just going to go ahead and take the point 2, 3, and I'm going to write that down. And again, you can take any point that lies on your line. Letter C is asking us to write the equation of the line. So writing that equation, we can use our point and our slope to do that. And so if you like using the table, you can. You don't have to. But again, just to kind of remind ourselves of what we did in Mod 1, if we have the point 2, 3, and we know the change from one to the next is it's going down by 1/2, we can write our equation as y equals 3 minus 1/2 times x minus 2. So our slope is this -1/2, our slope is here, our y value is here, and the x value is in with the x. This can also be written in another way. So if you wanted to start with a slope, you could. So we can also write this, and I'm going to show you both ways, as y equals -1/2 times x minus 2 plus 3. So you can switch the order if you want to. Whatever one works best for you is the one you can use. Then in number 4, it says to simplify our equation. So for letter D, I'm going to take our original equation, which is y equals 3 minus 1/2 times x minus 2, and we're going to simplify that. In order to simplify it, we're going to start by just bringing this 3 down. This 3 has nothing to do with the parentheses over here. So we get y equals 3, and then we need to distribute or multiply the -1/2 to the parentheses. So -1/2 times x is what we would do first, which is a -1/2 x. And then we would take the -1/2 times -2. So -1/2 times -2 would give us a +1. And then we can look to combine like terms. Because we have a +3 and a +1, we can make that a 4. And we get y equals 4 minus 1/2 x. Or again, we can write this in a different order. You can also write this as y equals -1/2 x plus 4.